Is there not an entire section on this subject?
No, yes, I may have changed my mind in the meantime on that, so it's unfair. I may have changed my mind about Mithra, for example.
Is your book for sale back?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so.
Let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me tell you, let me.
Say it like you mean it. This is my Bible.
What up? I got something to say.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Let Me Tell You, episode 60. I am your host, the Evangelical Norm. So, this week has been pretty crazy with a lot of different things in the news. I chose to do an early episode yesterday dealing with Ahmaud Arbery just on its own because I didn't want to... I felt that deserved its own focused episode rather than just being a part of a, random episode. So that if you're interested in my take on that, go back. You'll find that video dropped yesterday. So today we're going to talk a little bit more COVID-19 stuff. Deaths are up over 79,000. I think we may be up to 80,000 according to the official numbers. I will go to the tell of the tape here real quick. We'll jump over to the if I can get the website to come up. Of course, it's gonna act dumb when I want to actually look at the numbers. Any other time when I'm not interested in the numbers, it works just fine. Now I want to actually go look at numbers, and it's not loading at all. So that's just typical internet. Oh, there we go. So in the U.S., 1,256,000 confirmed cases. All right, well, now it's gone. This is great podcasting right here. This is the stuff I know you guys tune in for. The dead air and so on. So this is the Johns Hopkins University the site that they have. Breaks everything down. So 1.3 million confirmed cases in the United States, 79,528 deaths. So, and again, we take that with a grain of salt because it's, a lot of those deaths should have actually been attributed to other underlying conditions that people had rather than COVID-19. But I mean, we've seen admission from the CDC and hospitals and things like that if they even suspect that a person had COVID-19, they count it as a COVID-19 death. So it's frustrating and a little irritating to me to see them do that. And so you have these elevated, inflated numbers that really don't show the truth of, again, this is a virus that 99.97% of people are going to survive. If you are under 70 years old and don't live in a nursing facility, you're probably going to get through this with fairly unscathed. Now, granted, I have friends, and I've talked about this before, but I have good friends and relatives who have spent time in ICUs on ventilators because of this. But young, relatively healthy young men who got through it, both of them were given hydroxychloroquine, which helped in their recovery amazingly. So there's some of there's the information that will get me removed from YouTube because it contradicts what the experts are saying. So there's just a few of the numbers for you, but what I want to talk about is the rise of the totalitarian, tyrannical, I I can't think of another word with T to alliterate. But the state that has come in and just done all their absolute best to shut everything down, and ridiculously doing things to essentially to destroy our economy. And as people are small business owners, the majority of your beauty salons and stuff like that, and we're actually all three of the people that I'm going to talk about here in a minute, beauty or barber shops, beauty salons, barber shops, whatever, are small, individually owned businesses that are having a hard time getting through this. I have a friend that owns a coffee shop that really struggled. Some friends in Colorado who have a beauty salon that was pretty rough, and I think they're reopening. But so a lot of these smaller businesses, churches, again, these places, it's fine apparently to go to Walmart and have all the people in there. You can go to Costco if you wear a mask. You can go to Walmart and whatever. You have to stand 7 feet apart from each other, 6 feet apart from each other in line, but then yet you use the same keypad on the ATM or the debit card reader without it being cleaned in between. I mean, it's just some of the most ridiculous stuff. The greatest meme I've seen from this week, I saw today, and it was like, obviously from one of those states, but it says, let me get this straight. I can go in any pot shop and buy my marijuana, but I have to meet my hairdresser in a back alley with unmarked bills in order to get a haircut. Here's the ridiculousness of where we have become. Rob Dyrdek ain't got nothing on what the United States government and states governments are doing right now, because it is the most ridiculous stuff that I've ever seen. And I understand that there are people out there that are going to be angry with me because they think I'm just out to kill them. Not. This is literally, and apparently herd immunity is a bad word now, but it has literally been the thing. When back in 5-10 years ago, when anti-vaxxers were a huge thing, people were talking about, well, you need to get your kid vaccinated so we can develop a herd immunity. But now, well, we don't want to develop a herd immunity because that might lead to more people dying. And so, and again, here's the deal, and I've said it before, and it's horrible that it is a reality, but this is going to kill people. We have to open up sometime. We cannot. It is unsustainable for us to remain locked down the way we are. Our economy is literally collapsing. We are sitting at 14 to 17% unemployment. 33 million Americans have lost their jobs. We literally, in a 5-week period, or maybe a 7-week period, we have gone from 3% to 14% unemployment in the United States. People are losing their jobs. People are going to lose their homes. We cannot rely on the government. The $1,200 stimulus, and now they're talking about another $2,000 and so on. That is not sustainable. We've got people on unemployment we've got a guy that I work with that is making more money on unemployment than he was while he was working. It's not sustainable. You can't just keep printing money. At some point in time, the collapse is going to happen. So we're either going to lose some lives or we're going to lose some lives. And so, and I've talked about it, and again, I think last week I had seen the thing, and granted, I could not verify it, but literally somebody posted on Facebook about a friend who committed suicide because they lost their business, lost their livelihood, were about to lose their home, and dude committed suicide. So now people are dying from the economy being shut down. If we got to save lives, then we've got to find the way to find the medium in this. We have to. We do not have a choice to stay locked down the way we are. We don't. I mean, we could. I'm all for just opening it back up. Just open it back up. Go back to where we were weeks ago. And deal with the consequences. We deal with this, and with flu season and all the other things. And come at me with all your things. I know I'm gonna report me to YouTube and get my channel shut down. Hasn't happened yet. We'll see. I'll deal with that when the time comes. If and when it comes. But so here's again, we have gotten to a ridiculous state where you can go. You can go into any pot shop in Colorado, Washington, or whatever states are selling it recreationally now and buy your icky sticky, but you can't get a haircut. You can't go, get a massage or any of these other things. You gotta, meet up with literally, here's the headline from these two young ladies. The headline reads, You can't make this up. I mean, they're on the verge of putting the Babylon Bee out of business. 2 women are arrested in undercover operation for breaching coronavirus lockdown rules and offering home beauty and salon services. Anna Isabel Castro Garcia and Brenda Stephanie Mata were arrested in Laredo, Texas. Undercover cops posed as customers looking for nail and eyelash treatments. Each woman was charged with a violation of an emergency management plan. So there you go. I mean, literally a sting operation. They are releasing prisoners from jail because they're afraid that being together like that, they might catch the coronavirus or whatever. So they're releasing people for their safety, and then they're having sting operations for people who just want to be able to continue on with their living and feed their families. So these two get arrested in a sting operation for eyelash and nail treatments. Stop and think about that. They're literally letting people out of jail so they can lock other people up. These are mugshots they're wearing. They're wearing jail outfits, striped pajamas from the jails. This is ridiculous that this is happening. That these 2 women who wanted to do nothing more than to make the money that they regularly make to feed their families. And they get caught up in a sting operation for eyelash or eyebrow treatments or eyelash treatments or whatever it was that they were looking for. Nail and eyelash treatments. A sting operation for nail and eyelash treatments. Let's just say it one more time, just for the full ridiculous effect. Sting operation for nail and eyelash treatments. Well done, Texas. Way to go, Governor Abbott. Well done. Texas again. What is her name? Shelley Luther? Dallas salon owner Shelley Luther arrested because she opened up her shop. Video of her addressing the judge went basically viral, news all over the place, where he said, if you apologize for being selfish and wanting to make a living is being selfish, and so if you apologize, we'll let you go. And she said, no, I can't. If feeding my children is selfish, if your law is more important than people feeding their kids, she said I have stylists in her salon that are going hungry because they're not eating so their kids can, because they have no money. And the supposed stuff coming from the government was not coming in a timely manner for people to feed their families. So she said, I have to open back up. And for that, she gets arrested, sentenced to 7 days in jail and $7,000, to which the lieutenant governor of Texas said he would pay it and serve her jail time. The attorney general urged the judge to release her, which she was, finally released from jail. Governor Abbott made, rather than just saying, giving her, I still think he should give her an official pardon. But he just said, well, you can't arrest people for violating my executive orders. I'm issuing another executive order. Says you can't arrest people for violating my executive orders, and we're going to make that retroactive to before she was arrested, even though she'd already been arrested. Well done, Governor Abbott. Well done. Way to go. Ted Cruz, again, this is a guy that I would love to see. I'm so hope that in 2024 he runs for president again, because this is a man that I would love to see in the Oval Office, because he continues to show the integrity that he has. He showed up to her shop to get a haircut, and I bet you, I can't confirm this, but I'm pretty sure he paid a whole lot more than what it was actually the price of it. I'm betting he dropped a few bills in that salon to help take care of his constituents there in Texas. When the governor failed to do so, Ted Cruz stepped up and took care of this lady. So bravo, Ted. You know, well, Shelley Luther, Castro Garcias, and Mata, you the real MVPs. But thank you, Senator Cruz, for standing up for these people. And then finally, we got Michigan, which they were making it illegal to go buy seeds, and then saying, well, you know, the weather here is going to keep us locked down for long enough, and you won't need all this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. This barber, his name, 77-year-old Carl Menke, opened up. The state police told him to close on Friday, and told him that his shop was an imminent danger to public health. And he said, no, I won't shut down. And he said, I can't remember. He said, you're going to have to carry me out in handcuffs, and I won't shut down until Jesus walks in, or something to that effect. I couldn't find all I could find is horrible super leftist articles about how bad this man is. I couldn't find the actual article that gave the quote that I heard the other day about him not shutting down until Jesus comes in, and good for him, you know. And I am happy, and it is becoming obvious that Americans have had enough. They're like, this is enough. We have got to get back to normal. I mean, I've been in the places, went to eat breakfast yesterday with my wife at one of our favorite restaurants here in Ogden at Jeremiah's. They've come up with a great way to continue to do what and they had a much smaller crowd than usual. I mean, Jeremiah's, you're usually Saturday and Sunday, you're waiting, and even Friday mornings, you're waiting for 45 minutes to get a seat in this place. And what they did is they took their tables and they put, it looks like about half of them, because they have to distance their tables according to the rules of this shutdown. And so rather than just separating out tables and running at half capacity, they blocked off part of their parking lot and put the tables outside. It's nice. You can eat outside. We ate. It was a little breezy, but we managed to eat and had a great time. Stayed distant from other people, and but we're seeing these places. A lot of the places that I like to go here are opening back up, so I'm excited for that. But still hoping to see, you know, them able to go back. I'm personal preference of mine, and maybe for selfish reasons, but I'm waiting for the point in time when all this is blown over so I can go back to the Outlaw or Giggs Tavern and play poker and sit at a table with my friends and play some cards. That's what I want. I want to be able to go back to regular life. You know, and again, you're hearing it, this is the new normal. The life is never going to go back to the way it was because this virus. It's a virus. We run through these things on a regular basis. We deal with this stuff. Somehow, for whatever reason, this one got blown up. You know, through media and panic and all the other things, this got blown up further than it really needed to. And again, I know that I'm upsetting people because I'm stomping on their sacred cows, and I just hate old people, and I want immunocompromised people to die, and blah 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 blah. No, I want our country back to the way it was. I want the government, again, once you vote emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor, rarely does he give it back. And this is how liberty dies, to thunderous applause. I mean, we're watching it. I'm done with my trial membership to socialism. Can we cancel this thing now? Because it has become very ridiculous. When you've got moms being arrested in parks, but yet they're letting people out of jails. It literally boggles the mind that this is how twisted things have become. Think about that. They have let and literally let violent offenders, sexual offenders, people who have been let out of jail, who have reoffended. I mean, last week or something, there was a rape because somebody let a rapist out of jail because they were afraid of getting the coronavirus, and dude went out and raped somebody. I wish I could have found the article, so take that one with a grain of salt. I didn't verify that, but I did hear about it. So if that proves to be wrong, I'll offer an official retraction. But this is the thing. You've got people that are letting people out of jail, but they're performing sting operations for eyelash and nail treatments. I just can't get that one through my head. Just cannot comprehend that. They're shutting down the parks. I mean, my daughter is devastated on daily because she just wants to go play at the park. She just wants to go play. And when we drive by there, they're still wrapped off with caution tape. Can we, they're not shutting down state parks, not allowing people to go camping. I mean, this is all ridiculous. No, can't have too many people out there at the park, right? You got to stay distant from each other. Can we have our country back, please, Mr. President? I understand that you are enamored with this Deborah Birx lady, and she could be your next Stormy Daniels. But it's time to be the guy that people, not me, because I didn't vote for you, but the people wanted, who was going to stand up to the establishment and say enough is enough. It's time to go back to work. Open it back up. Completely. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but it's got to happen sometime. And the longer that it takes to do it, the more damage that we are doing to this country. The more damage we are doing to this economy, and it's going to be harder and harder to recover. And here's the deal, Mr. President, because I know you're watching. The worse the economy gets, the more chance Joe Biden has, Mr. Dementia himself, of beating you in the upcoming election. Because people aren't going to vote on how you responded to COVID-19. They really aren't. I mean, within weeks, once we open back up and so on, and unless somehow they manage to drag this out to November, it's going to be old news. When it comes down to time to vote, it's going to be all about the economy. So you have a choice to make, Mr. President. Governor Herbert, all you other governors and states, choices need to be made. And our country needs to be opened back up before we get to a place where it's going to be nearly impossible to dig ourselves out. Again, I mean, Jeff Durbin has talked about this multiple times. Go watch his sermon about love your neighbor. And a message to state governors, I think he talked about. He's got a couple of them. I think that was the title of it. But we have to consider loving our neighbors also in allowing them to continue to maintain their livelihood and not just worry about that small percentage. I mean, literally, we are looking at a virus that is 0.03, maybe up to 0.1% fatal, and we've got 14% unemployment. There's a little bit of an off balance. No, I don't just want old people to die. And no, I don't want immunocompromised people to die. I want those people to be smart and stay home and quarantine themselves. But allow the healthy people to go about their business. And allow businesses to go about their business. Because that also is loving your neighbor. And again, the ultimate way to love our neighbor is preach the gospel at all times. Use words. They're necessary. Until next week, Soli Deo Gloria.